economy, obviously the most important issue for voters. And the economy pulled ahead of terrorism by 12% in this new Fox News poll. What is Donald Trump going to do to continue this momentum that he is the best in terms of creating growth for the U.S. economy?
Yeah, let me just say I have no idea what he is going to do, but what he should do is he should stress the economy. He can win on this one. It's a slam dunk for Donald Trump if he does the right thing. I've never seen a political race where the Republicans should win by more than this race. I mean, you look at the turnout in Republicans, you look at all the state and local elections, everything points to a Republican landslide. All Donald Trump needs to do is say he can control the economy with a low corporate tax and getting rid of Obamacare and whatever else he wants to put in there. ISIS is a great thing for him, but the issue is Hillary. You know, all elections are referenda on the incumbent, and Hillary is running as the incumbent, and frankly, she's running on a very, very poor record. This is an awful economy. We've had a poor economy for a long time, and if Donald Trump handles it right, he can win by a landslide.
Yeah, Harlan, there's 15% corporate tax rate is one of the hallmarks of that plan.
Well, and look, it's the ultimate hypocrisy of Obamonomics and Hillary Clinton's promising to be a continuation of them, that the monetary policy and the economic policy of this administration has hurt low-income earners and the middle class the most. You know, I mean, we're growing at, 1% in the first half of the year. You know, median household income is down over Obama's 8 years. So, what does Trump need to do to show people that? Because if we're talking about Janet Yellen, I'm not sure people are really paying attention.
Yeah, well, I think you're right. I mean, they probably aren't paying attention about Janet Yellen, but that was the question put forward here. But what they are paying attention to is jobs, output, employment, production. The reason the U.S. doesn't attract jobs from the world is because our corporate tax rate is the highest in the OECD, and therefore people won't come here because they don't want to pay the highest tax rate in the world. And what we've got to do is lower that corporate tax rate, which is exactly what Donald Trump is suggesting, so it brings jobs back to the U.S., and this applies to states as well. The reason Michigan and Ohio and Pennsylvania are doing so badly is they tax corporate profits way, way, way too much, and they send all the jobs here to us in Tennessee. Thank you very much. But they're the source of their own problems, and the U.S. is the source of slow growth. We need a low corporate tax rate, repeal Obamacare, and I think we're off to the races.
Do you think that resonates, you guys, with people? The fact, I mean, Hillary has 8 brackets, and when you look at all of these brackets, when you add on the state and the city, you're talking about a heavy tax load for somebody making $90,000, $100,000.
Yeah, taxes have gone. Taxes have clearly gone up. Certainly on the, on the higher income taxpayers, but even on but it was not just tax. It is things like health insurance premiums which have gone up a lot. I think that's what people really feel. Their taxes, their overall level of taxation may not have gone up that much in the last 8 years, but things like health insurance, some of their other costs that they face, they have gone up, and I think they do feel tough. One quick question, though, for you, Art, as well, which is the issue of trade. Trump has said some pretty negative things about trade, whether it's NAFTA, obviously, whether it's the TPP, whether it's, he says basically the U.S. gets the short end of these trade agreements, and he would kind of basically do away with them. That's not going to help growth, is it?
Well, no, I mean, I'm totally for free trade, 100% free trade all the way. Now, Donald Trump is correct that the agreements that have been done, NAFTA and the TPP and all that, include lots and lots of exceptions for foreign countries. If you look at the Japanese non-tariff barriers that have been excluded from all the agreements, I mean, to retrofit an American car to sell in Japan would probably take $50,000 just to get over these non-tariff barriers. If you look at some of the other stuff as well, Japan's monetary policy has clearly been aimed at currency manipulation to do that. These things need to be brought into the trade agreements, but that having been said, free trade is the answer, and we should never, ever, ever retaliate to foreign protectionism by putting in protectionism on our own. You even need to find other ways of shaming or embarrassing or pointing out these problems without retaliation. A trade war is a killer for the U.S. and for the rest of the world.
And watch the Trump campaign shame the Obama White House and also Hillary Clinton on Obamacare, particularly in October, when people find out how much their premiums are going up or if they've lost their insurer, because you have higher premiums, skyrocketing premiums, you have limited choices with more HMOs, and you have people losing their health insurance provider in many of these states. And you're talking to people, pregnant women, who have to go out and find new health insurance when they're getting ready to give birth in January and February. These are anecdotes that I've read in many newspapers.
And heard from people, yeah.
And that is going to be a critical thing, because we gave you this health insurance plan, and it's a failure. It's in the process.
Yeah. And don't you think premiums are going to continue to go up because of the amount of losses we're talking about? United Healthcare said they're going to lose $1 billion on the Obamacare policies. Yeah. Aetna obviously just pulled out.
Look, the basic math of healthcare, of Obamacare was, and although they denied it at the time and frankly lied to the American people about it, was that to bring in all these people who were previously uninsured, to subsidize them, which they had to be if they were going to be brought in, because they couldn't afford, many of those people couldn't afford insurance, and also to pay for, to deal with the fact that the vast majority, the large number of people who are healthy and young are not going to pay health insurance premiums because they don't feel they need it. The basic economic logic was always that anybody who is, middle class, middle-aged, who had health insurance was going to have to pay more. That was clearly the solution to this, and that is exactly what's happened. And it's now being made worse, as you say, and as Dagan says, by the fact that on these health exchanges, there's only one provider in many areas. That's basically a monopoly, so they can put up prices pretty well as much as they want.
Raise prices.
And the government's going to have to keep subsidizing. It really is. It is an economic and financial mess.
Well, and as evidenced by the rise of Bernie Sanders, you're going to see a movement to double down on this and to move to single-payer health care. That's what's coming.
Right. That's what Dagan's been saying for a long time.
And it's not because I think millennials have any sort of socialist leaning. I mean, they're not ideological. People that came of age around the time that I did, we don't remember good times, and so when you see somebody offering free stuff, it's very alluring.
Yeah, it sure is. Art, good to see you. Thanks so much, sir.
Good to see you. Thank you, Maria.
Art Laffer
I'm off to Turkey.
Are you?
Safe.
Yeah.
Well, when you come back, we want to hear a report on what you've learned.
My first time there, I'm going right after the show.
Great.
Okay.
Good luck. Safe travels. Thank you, Art.
Thank you.
What are you doing in Turkey?
I'm just doing a conference over there, an economic conference. Economic problems are global, not in just the U.S., unfortunately.
Art Laffer, we'll see you when you get back from your trip.